Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today's video on my channel is going to be a little bit different from what I usually do. I'm going to be doing a tag video today, and this is something that I've seen some of the other YouTubers do. It's things I've never shared with you before tag, and I thought the questions here were very interesting, especially because these were some of the questions I wish I had the courage to ask people when I meet them, just because I think you get to know people in a more deeper way when you talk about these things. And these are the things most of the times we don't even talk about, and it takes years and years even amongst friends to talk about these things. And I thought I would start this conversation by answering those questions myself, so that you get to know me on a deeper level. You get to understand why I am the way I am and why I do what I do. And so I'll start with the questions. They're on my phone, so if I'm looking down, I'm looking at my phone. So the first question is, have you ever saved a life? Unfortunately or fortunately, I have never had to save a life, like physically have to save someone. And so I don't think I can say, if my memory serves me correctly, that I've saved a life. I'm sure I remember if I've saved a life. But what I thought when I heard this question was, now I didn't really start thinking about these questions and thinking about what my answer is going to be. But the first thing that I thought when I saw this question or heard this question was, I wish I could save a life, not like physically, but like mentally, emotionally, because I know there are a lot of people out there who are going through a lot of things. All of us are, and in those moments I know that having someone be alongside you and walk alongside you and guide you and be your support system is kind of like saving a life. And I've experienced that personally, and I think that I would want to help someone out in that way. And so in the future, if I get to save someone's life, I think that's gonna be my goal, not like physically saving someone's life, because that is based on life. Like if it happens in front of you and you are able to save someone, you save someone. But I think a worthy goal to have is to actually be open to saving someone's life and helping them go through life. And I think that's something that I really want to do more of. And so that's what I thought when I saw this question. Now the second question is, have you ever witnessed birth? Now again, I have not witnessed birth. I have witnessed a birth. I don't know whether you can say witness. So I don't really know what you mean by witnessed, but I've not been in the room when my baby brother was born, but probably I saw him as soon as he was born, and so that's witnessing birth. But I don't remember any of it. So I was 3 years old, and I anyway have a bad memory about my childhood, so I don't remember anything except for like pictures that I see right after his birth. And so I can't really say that I've witnessed birth, and I would love to witness birth someday, because seeing a child being born out of nothing is something that just reminds you of the beauty of life. And so I want to do that one day, but I haven't as of now. The third question is, have you ever tried drugs? No, I haven't tried drugs, and I don't think I ever want to try drugs. It's not something that has ever been on my radar, and I don't know, it's just like, I don't want to say much about it, but just this losing control of your senses in that way is just scary to me, and I don't think I ever want to do that. The next question is, have you ever witnessed death? And this is a question, I know till now all my questions are like, no, I didn't do this, no, I didn't do this. And this question is like, yes, I have multiple times right from a very young age. I have witnessed deaths of many people, family members, friends, and the ones that really impacted my life, I think, was the first one was one of my very close friends who passed away when I was in, I have to say, I think ninth grade. And so that was really, 8th or ninth grade, I think that was really impactful for me in my life, and that really made me realize that life is never certain. Like things change in seconds. And so I think that really set me up to make the most of life and see life as not never ending. Because I think when you're younger, you think that, oh, we're going to have a long life ahead of us and we're going to do so many things. And just having that friend being taken away from me in that split second, I think it really impacted me and made me realize that life's never going to be the same again, and it's going to happen multiple times. And then I think the second uh, that impacted me was again a sister of a close friend who passed away. And again, that was because I got to experience that along with her and be there when she was processing it. Obviously, it was much harder for her. I think that again made me realize how things, how fast things can change, and how we shouldn't take things for granted, and how we should make the most of life. And the next, which is probably the biggest death experience that I had, was my brother who passed away a few years back. And I think uh, when you look at movies or you anticipate death of your loved ones, you always imagine yourself that you'll be so devastated and you'll be like broken basically. But somehow when he passed away, which was again very sudden, somehow was carried through the whole experience without it having broken me in any way. It more than anything kind of took me to the next level of understanding of life, and also made me further reinforced in my thoughts that I have like limited days on this earth. I know a lot of people might have expected me to have taken it in a different way. I don't know. I just felt that this time I was ready somehow. I don't know whether it was the few deaths that happened before that that built me up and made me ready for it. I just was ready for it, and I knew that I can get through it, and I knew that it was better for him. So I think that was one of the biggest things, just accepting that whatever has happened, and it's not as dramatic as you see in the movies. It's just life. And I think these were the three deaths that had the most impact on my life. Obviously, I've had other people in my family pass away. My granddad passed away, but I don't have like a memory of it, and I don't think it impacted me in the way these three uh, deaths impacted me. I'm sure there were others. I know as I'm thinking about it, there are others that did make me think of life in a different way, but I think these were the three main things that I can say that I have witnessed death. Next question again is a big one. What is the biggest fear you have in life? And this is something that I've been really reflecting on, especially since I turned 27, or while I was turning 27 in June, was what is my biggest fear? What is it that hinders me from living my life? And how can I turn my fear and overcome it in order to enable it to drive me in life and not hinder me? And the thing I realized that I fear the most, so I'm not afraid of death. I know a lot of people are afraid of death, and I think again, as I was saying in the previous question, just because I've been around death, I don't know, I just was never afraid of it. I think I was always afraid of living. I'll tell you what I mean by that, and that is that I'm afraid that I won't do a good enough job living and I waste my life. And that fear of not being enough, not doing enough, has always been there in me. And as I turned 27, I reflected a lot on how can I turn that fear of not being enough to something that will drive me to be enough, you know. And I know that that fear is always going to be there, but I also know that I don't know, I think I found ways to direct my fear into something productive. And actually I'm going to be talking about that in my birthday video. So I do a birthday annual video every year since I think the past 2 years I've been doing that, in which I reflect over what I felt over the past year and what I'm thinking of going into the future. And this is the thing that I talk about, and that is what I fear the most. And so if you want to watch that video, I think it will come out after this video, so you can watch that video and subscribe to my channel if you want to catch up on that video. Now the next question is, what is the biggest dream you have? again, a big one. And again, I didn't really think about this when I put down these questions, but I think with me, I've always not had any specific dream that I want to do this or I want to do that, just because I don't know why it was. I know a lot of people grow up with certain desires of I want to achieve this and I want to achieve that, and I was always uh, envious in a way of those people, because I was like, why don't I have that? Why don't I know for sure what I want to do? And I think what I realized over the years was what I dream of is not a specific thing. What I dream of is a specific impact, and that has always been on my mind since I was young. Was I want to change the world, and I know it's very cliche to say that, but honestly that has always been my dream, that I want to have some impact on this world, even if it's a small one. That the fact that I'm alive should have meant something in this world, not for me, but for this world and for the community around me, that I'm leaving this world a better place. And I think that has always been my dream, and I'm still finding ways to make that dream come true. This world should be a better place because I've lived in it, and I think that's my dream. Yeah. I can go on and on talking about it, but I don't want to. That's not what this video is about. Next thing, what is the most embarrassing thing that has happened to you? Now, again, when I saw this question, I remembered one specific embarrassing thing. So I'm very sure that I've had a lot of embarrassing things happen to me, and I'm pretty sure my friends who are watching this can tell you what those things are, because I obviously shared it with them. But this one thing that happened to me in boarding school is still stuck in my head for some reason, and whenever I think of it I cringe, just because I think that was a very, I don't know, vulnerable time in my life. And so just because I was so vulnerable, it made me feel a little more embarrassed than I probably should have. So basically, I went to the bathroom, washroom, whatever it is you call it, and I was wearing a skirt. And you know what happens when you go to the bathroom with a skirt? Once you come out, sometimes it gets stuck up in your underpants, and that's what happened with me. So it got stuck, and I did, like, from the bathroom to the place I was going, there was nobody I met on the way, and so there's nobody to tell me or any friend to tell me. And then I walked into this room, and there was a lot of people who were not my friends who were there, and they all looked at me a little weird, and I was like, why are they looking at me? And then one of the girls obviously said that just report it, and I was like, what's wrong? And then I realized that my skirt was tucked up in my underwear, and so I had to put it out. And for some reason, I don't know if it happens to me today, I don't think I would be as embarrassed, but I think just at that moment in time, I was in a very vulnerable state. I was young, I was going through something, and so at that moment in time, having that happen to me was very embarrassing, and I still remember it from all the other things that probably happened to me. And the last question is, do you believe in God? And I have a very simple answer to this, and I do believe in God, because if I didn't, honestly, now I'm very honest when I say this, if I didn't believe in a higher power, if I didn't believe that there was someone up there who had control, I would probably be a huge emotional mess right now, because there is no way I could get through life without that realization, or without that belief that there is someone out there higher than us who is looking out for us in some ways. And I know that many of you watching this might have very different opinions, but that's my opinion, and I think that's what gets me through my life and my day and my hours and my minutes. Otherwise, I think I would be completely out of it because I cannot carry that whole burden of existence on me. I just can't. So that's my answer to that question, and that's the end of this video. I hope that you got to know me a little bit more, and I hope that it encourages you to have such conversations with your friends, because when I read those questions and I thought about my friends, I knew that some of these answers I didn't even know for my friends, and that's sad. And so I hope that it encourages you to start these conversations with your friends. And if any of you want to answer these questions in the comment section down below, just if you want to share your most embarrassing story, or whether you believe in God, or just anything, when have you experienced birth? Because I haven't experienced birth. So if you have a story to tell of when have you experienced birth, I would love to read about it in the comments below. I think that's one of the reasons I started YouTube, was to get to meet more people and interact with more people than I do on a daily basis, because on a daily basis you don't really meet everyone, but through my videos I can meet more people. And I don't want this video to be just me talking at you. It has to be something from you as well, just so that I can get to know you more. So just answer any of these questions in the comment section down below. And if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel. There's a subscribe button down there, as well as a bell icon, so click on that, because you won't get any notifications of my new videos if you don't click on that. And like this video if you enjoyed what I talked about, and stay tuned for my next video, which will be my thoughts on 27, my birthday video, where I talk about what I fear the most.